OJ Simpson died Wednesday without having paid most of the $33.5 million wrongful death judgment a California civil jury awarded to the families of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. I'm joined now in studio by former prosecutor Mary David. Thanks for coming here on this Friday night. What are the chances, let me start with that, what are the chances that the Goldmans and the Browns will see any of the money?
Well, by Nevada law, any creditors can start the process of receiving their money if within 30 days the family of OJ Simpson does not start the process through probate court. So if they don't, that means any creditors like Ron Goldman's family or Nicole Brown Simpson's family can start the process for them. Because they have an outstanding civil judgment, this means that they are likely first in line before any other creditors, given that their debt is so long been holding.
Okay, so they get priority even based upon his heirs, right? Meaning his kids.
They do. Any outstanding judgments have to be satisfied before anyone can receive anything through his will when it comes to any assets and property that he has in Nevada. But his home in Florida is a different story. Florida has a very strong homestead law which protects a person's home from any judgment creditors. That's likely why OJ Simpson had a home there, and that means that Nicole Brown Simpson's family and Ron Goldman's family cannot get any of their judgments satisfied from that property.
I see. Okay, and a lot of his money was coming from the NFL and private pensions. Mentioned his kids. What about does he have a will or a trust? Does it matter? Do we know?
Really, it comes down to first having those judgments satisfied, going into the probate court system, because by Nevada law, that has to come before his inheritance even comes into play for any of his heirs. The NFL pension that he has is something that may be protected that can go to his heirs, but that also really determines on the provisions within the pension and whether or not that continues after his passing.
Okay, and then we were hearing that when he passed, like literally on his deathbed, that he had visitors, maybe up to 50, sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So does that protect him in terms of anything he may have told them as he knew he was going to be passing?
One thing people don't realize when it comes to NDAs is that you cannot contract away your right to report criminal activity. That is because of public policy reasons. The courts don't want people to do that. So even if you sign an NDA that you promise not to share information that pertains to criminal conduct.
So in other words, if he gave a confession?
If he gave a confession, then they are not barred from that when it comes to criminal activity.
Okay, so your final word, if the Goldmans and the Browns, or maybe I'll get paid, maybe they will because they're first in line.
It does seem like they will get paid before anybody else and likely to follow given the statutes and how this is going to play out.
Okay, well, we appreciate you helping us make sense of it all, because this is something to think about as we've just lost him. Former prosecutor Mary David, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.